The space age began on October 4, 1957 with the launch of the first artificial satellite, Sputnik 1. This tiny spacecraft lasted only 3 months in orbit, finally burning up in the Earth's atmosphere. Operational satellites in orbit around the Earth, 50% of which were launched by the United States. There are many satellites in low Earth orbit, just a few hundred kilometers above the surface. Some of the most notable of these include the International Space Station, the Hubble Space Telescope, and many Earth observation satellites. The rest are in geostationary orbit, at an altitude of almost 36,000 kilometers. If we could see these satellites from Earth's surface, they would appear to hang motionless in the sky. The fact that they remain over the geographic same area means they provide the perfect platform for telecommunications, broadcast or weather observations. But there are many more artificial objects orbiting the Earth. In this collection of space debris we're talking spent boosters, dead satellites, and even misplaced gloves. According to the United States Space Surveillance Network, there are more than 21,000 objects larger than 10 centimeters orbiting the Earth. Just a small fraction of these are operational satellites. It's estimated there are a further 500,000 bits and pieces between 1 and 10 centimeters in size. It makes me wonder why the International Space Station does not have any ceiling hatches. What would happen if one of those 500,000 pieces of debris smashes into it, with the space station hitting a piece of debris at 17,500 miles per hour? I would expect a major disaster for NASA. But we hear nothing of any accidents the entire time it's been up there. According to the Index of Objects Launched into Outer Space maintained by United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs, there are currently 4,256 satellites currently orbiting the planet. According to NASA, there are around 22,000 objects in orbit that are big enough to track. Many are space junk such as old rockets and abandoned satellites. It is estimated as many as 370,000 pieces of space junk are floating in Earth's orbit, traveling at speeds of up to 22,000 miles per hour, according to Space.com. There are more than 35,000 satellites now in orbit around Earth. Nobody seems to have any clue how many we actually have orbiting the Earth. They also state, several hundred satellites can be spotted with the unaided eye. These are the satellites that are large enough, typically more than 20 feet in length, and low enough, 100 to 400 miles above Earth, to be most readily seen as sunlight reflects off them. Let me just repeat that last part, to be most readily seen as sunlight reflects off them. Let's look at some images from the International Space Station. Is it me, or am I missing something here? I cannot see a single satellite reflecting off the sun, and I purposely used images taken from the ISS of the sun rising so that the light would not flood the camera. There are no satellites to see. There is nothing up there to reflect from the sunlight except the moon. You never ever see a satellite from the space station. Where are all the several hundred satellites that can be spotted with the unaided eye? Let's take a look at the moon. Here are some video feeds, and I would like to point out, there is nothing between us and the moon, not a single satellite, nothing to see here. No low Earth orbiting satellites, and no geostationary satellites. You cannot see them because they are all more than likely hanging from high-altitude weather balloons. With the amount of satellites in space, you should at least see tens of them in front of the moon. I understand photography and depth of field, but remember there are also satellites in high Earth orbit that should be visible with the magnification of the telescope used to record these videos. But again, nothing is seen. If you have a recording of a satellite in front of the moon, by all means, send it to me at tdcgp@yahoo.co.uk so that I can share your findings.